This figure here offers pretty crazy value when compared with other waifu girly figures of this style. Rosado RS02 Starflower Black Iris is both larger in size and offers a ton of playability with a bunch of accessories. I think she's sometimes called Seika as well. This is a 1/10th scale figure, so of course larger than the 1/12th stuff we usually cover here. But you know, sometimes it's fun to take a look at some different stuff. What do you think? You reckon she's gonna be too big? Do you strictly collect 1/12th stuff? Do let me know down below. I mean, it kinda depends how you display her, right? So of course we'll take a look at all the different options and stuff, and the size comparisons later on. Personally, I was actually very on the fence about this one because I do try to keep things in the 1/12th scale myself. But I am also partnered with Bombasby, so I'm very grateful for that. They kindly sent this figure over for us to take a look at so we can see whether she's worth it. If you would like to grab her too, at the time of this video, she is available on their site. And the first Rosado girl, Sekiko, is also getting a re-release. So I guess these things are pretty popular. I will have links in the description if you want to check them out. So of course, big thank you to Bombasby, and big thank you to you as well for being here. Speaking of big, the box is pretty massive. You can pretty much fit 3 Figma boxes and then some in it. And in case you're wondering, Earnestcore Craft is the company that makes these girlies. Getting into the box, there are 2.5 or 3 trays. The top tray contains the figure and then some stuff like body parts and blades. There is a little tray in between that has some weaponry and a baggie with some hands and stuff. And the third tray has some more attachments and things. So out of the box, she is quite large. As in the figure is larger. Because it's 1/10th. I mean, her legs are also kind of large too, right? So first impressions, she does look very nice. It's interesting because she doesn't really feel exactly like a normal figure. Kind of more like a finished model kit. But for the price, she is not bad at all. I will say the design is quite attractive, and it's not even because of the lack of clothing. She just has a really cool design, and I think everything looks nice together. She's got a combination of shading and gradients and stuff like that. Some metallic parts, some clear parts, and some very small printed text, which is nice and neat, I would say. So yeah, overall, very nice looking. I just got 2 things I want to comment on. First of all, the back seam lines, or whatever the heck these are, don't look the best. I guess you could be like, oh yeah, she's like a mech girl or whatever, so yeah, it doesn't really bother me too much. I think the sculpting is nice overall, and the articulation should be pretty good, which we'll check later on of course. But just a word of warning, be careful when you move her around because there is a black print at the back of her leg which can rub off. I assume this was due to the leg bending, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, let's take a look at her accessories and everything that she has. Let's get the fun things out of the way first. Well, I mean, for whatever your preferences are, she has chest swaps. So there are 2 sizes, the default large size I would say. There's like a little pointy armor bit which you can put onto this chest part. It is just held on by a magnet, but I will say it holds on well enough. The chest parts themselves are secured properly. And the more modest chest size has a little covering as well, also magnetized. When you're posing her around and stuff, probably best to put the armor and the chest covering on last. If you want her to be a bit more modest, of course you can give her soft goods. I expect any 1/12 stuff will fit quite well. She has 4 different faceplates. She has a cutesy winking face, an angry face with some yellow eyes, and her default face, which I'm sure are a lot of people's favorites. No judgment here, of course. So out of the box there is also the regular face, which is hidden just under the helmet here. So these all have movable eyes, which is nice. You'll find the eye articulation stick in the baggie of hands. In addition, we got 2 different head swaps. First of all, we got the unmasked or plain head. Looks good, there's some shading or gradient in the hair. The hair is kind of a soft plastic as well. The way that the heads attach is quite interesting. It is done via a magnet. I would say it holds on well enough, but just be careful not to pick your figure up via the head. Otherwise, there is a full helmet, and you can also do a little front hair swap to have just the helmet and not the mask. Now for the feet enjoyers, I apologize, there's actually no feet. However, she does have 2 foot attachments. If you use these, then she can actually stand on her own. Personally, I found the one which you can kind of shape like a tripod for each foot to be the better one for balancing. So everything is pretty sturdy and she balances quite well. However, I don't really recommend leaving her like that for long periods of time because her feet attachments are kind of small. Wouldn't want to go breaking them. Luckily, she does come with a stand, so you just put it together following the instructions, and I'm sure it works very well. But why aren't you showing us? Well, it's because I don't have a screwdriver. Anyway, we do have a little baggie of hands. We got 9 pairs of hands, including her default ones. We got wire plugging hands. We got some holdy hands. We got some open hands. Fisty hands, of course. Other holdy hands pointing forwards a little bit. More grabbing hands for whatever fits. Even more holding hands. And even more relaxed hands. Finally, there is a pair of hands which are attached to these handles and you can plug things into them. So we got a bloody lot of hands. Spare joints, of course. But wait, there's more. For weaponry. We got some swords with some hands already attached so they don't get all loose and hold on nice and tightly. She's got some wires with some blades which you can plug into those hands that we looked at before. So actually, you can plug these into a whole bunch of different things. Anyway, she's got some other bits which you can mix and match. So essentially, you can plug the blades into the handles, and then she'll have like little dagger things. You can also take the blades, the long and the short ones, and plug them directly into those hands. And then she can have big or small claws. So there's a whole lot of playability, and I'm probably missing something. You just have to get creative. She's also got some big sword pieces which you can plug into whatever makes sense. She can dual wield them. Or she can have a double-edged sword. Alright, so getting onto her backpack things. She's got a little lower backpack part. You can attach the 4 wired dagger claw things into this. And the sharp bits can actually be taken off and you can attach other stuff to it. Namely her wings. I mean, for this one they're kind of more like a skirt thing, right? Here's just a little look at her wings. They are pretty cool. You do have to kind of be careful with them, but I kind of didn't really care and they're still fine, so you should be okay. It does have a little bit of articulation with the black part, and then each wing is kind of just on a little ball joint as well, so you can move them around. So she does have another upper backpack part. This one doesn't really move itself, you kind of just attach the wings to the side. The attachment point is a little ball joint, so you can rotate the wings and move them around. And for this one, you can plug the sword into the middle part of the pack and look something like this. I don't really know if this makes sense. Finally, she does have a little mecha arm pack. There is a rotation where the arm attaches. There is a ball joint kind of at the shoulder part of the arm. And there are 2 more articulation points for bends. Oh, and the hands can also rotate. You can swap these hands out for the ones with these swords. So you can either have her holding the sword, or you can have her little robot arms holding the swords. Of course, you can also take the wings and attach them to this little mecha arm pack. Oh, and also you can use her wings as like a melee weapon or something. Anyway, for articulation, Her head turns well. She does have separate head and neck movement and tilts. Upward range is pretty good. Downward range is excellent. Straight up, her arms raised to the sides like so. You can of course rotate them and things like that. She does have excellent butterfly joints and can reach forwards this much. Looks pretty good from all angles, not really any gaps anywhere. And also backwards reach is pretty good. Bicep rotation. She has double jointed elbows, which are pretty sturdy. And wrist movement is pretty standard stuff. Do be careful when you move her torso so that the bits don't get caught on each other. From the back, depending on the movement, there will be a little bit of a gap. But I guess doesn't matter too much because you'll usually have it covered, right? Torso movement, pretty good. She can bend backwards this much. And bend forwards this much. Strangely, her legs can't really split to the sides, like, at all. However, she can kick backwards and forwards quite well. This is what the joint looks like. And I guess you can cheat a little bit to make her split sideways. She has nice sturdy thigh rotations. Double mecha knee bends, also very sturdy. It is cool how the back of her thigh pushes in a little bit. And another cool thing is that she has a little button on her knee. When you press it, the knee blades pop out. These do automatically tuck back in when you straighten the leg. However, just to be safe, I would suggest pushing it down before straightening the leg. Otherwise, she's got a little pointy bit. And of course her feet attachment have some movement as well. For height, it is a little bit hard to gauge because, you know, there's so many different swaps and things. However, just the figure herself, that's 19.5 centimeters or about 7 3/4 inches. I guess if you have her wings and stuff, you can add like 10 centimeters. And if you have her tall feet, then maybe add 1 centimeter. Pretty much the same height as Animester girls. So she is pretty tall, being a 1/10 girl. Most of her height does come from her legs though, so you can kind of try to look for stuff to swap out. I found that Megami Device arms and 30-minute sister arms were a little bit too loose, and their legs unfortunately didn't really fit. Let me know if you managed to find anything which works well. If you have the space, absolutely consider grabbing her. I will of course have links to Bombasby and other stuff in the description. For me personally, I might just have her kneeling on my desk or wherever I find room for her. Do let me know your thoughts of Rosado Black Iris. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.